Welcome to another episode of CNB here on the NDTV network. We're back for the second jury meet because remember, we've split things up as always. So we had all the cars last week and now it's time to check out the two-wheelers that are up for the big awards this year. And with me right now here at the BIC, which is of course where we've been coming every year for the jury meet, I have, who else but the jury. Dr. Sumantran is I guess the longest serving juror, and someone who started it off with him and me was Aspi. So he's back on the jury this year, and I'm very, very happy that you're here, Aspi. Thank you for being here. Pablo's back again, second year running. Then is me. Suresh is joining us as well, so I'm very pleased that you are here as well. And the man with the mustache, Bala, is also on the jury this year, so it's good to have you, Bala.
The jurors will spend a whole day with all the bikes and scooters, ride them on the track and outside for a real-world feel, and then assess which ones measure up as being the best of the pack. The products are varied and span quite a wide range across many segments and price points.
Great to have you as well, and it should be fun because we have a whole lot of bikes. I mean, we say that every year, it kind of just keeps on increasing, and the variety, I think, is fairly good, Doc.
No, I think what we've seen over the years is breadth and depth. We find more bikes in each category, so there's a lot more competition in each category. And certainly depth, we're seeing better execution, better styling, better features, better handling, better drivability. So yeah, I think every year the team has been improving the breadth and the depth in each segment. So it's a fantastic array this year.
Aspi, there are bikes that run out of breath also. and we have some this year, to be fair.
No, we got a good spread of bikes, starting with a couple of commuters all the way up to super bikes and nakeds and big cruisers. So this definitely from where we started to today, there's a big difference. Today in India you can buy anything you want. The variety is there. You can, if you want a commuter, you want a street bike, you want a dual purpose adventure sport, so you got everything.
And at various price points. So Pablo, last year there was a lot of dilemma for you in terms of what's going to really end up being like your favorite bike. And I know that right till the end you were sort of grappling with that. Look at this, I mean, this is just a few of them.
It's going to be, I think, as difficult as last year, to be honest, because for example, just these motorcycles just behind us, there isn't that much separating them, to be honest, but having said that, I think it's going to come down to about 3 or 4 contenders for the big prize.
Suresh, it's good that the consumer has that, right, where you're spoiled for choice, where there's no truly outright bad product. I mean, everything has sort of come up to a certain maturity now.
It's always everything has become better. So there are no bad bikes, like you said, but what I really like about this is that there are so many performance-oriented motorcycles. The 300cc motorcycles. Now, these are motorcycles like the Mojo, made in India, for India. You have the Benelli TNT 300. You have the BMW previous bike coming soon.
So lots of variety.
So much. Then plus you have the Ducatis and the Triumphs. So for the enthusiasts, this is the best time to get into biking because there's just so much variety, and that's why I was so excited about coming for the jury round. To ride all these motorcycles, spend the whole day at the racetrack. It's just fabulous.
Alright, so lots of variety, lots of different products, and that means lots of time required to get past all of them. We're going to have a good fun time, of course, doing it. Shall we get started, gents?
Indeed, yes.
We did miss our regular biker Gul Panag this year, who couldn't make it on the day of the jury meet, but she was with us in spirit. The whole idea of splitting cars and bikes into 2 different jury days was suggested by her and Dr. Sumantran, in fact, and so it was 2 years ago that we began this practice. The awards themselves are now in their 11th year and have always given us some terrific and worthy winners. More on that in a bit. The customary way to begin, as always, involves a briefing by the Buddh Circuit's race control team. And just like on the car day, we had everyone go through this once again, even though they all know the track well. Briefing done, it was time to get this thing started. Some of the jurors began with the scooters and commuter bikes and chose to get them out in the area outside the pits. The idea was to stay more real world than only in race mode on the track. That is a practical approach when assessing mass motorcycles and scooters for sure. Here's a quick look at the nominees for Motorcycle of the Year up to 110cc. The all-new Honda Livo and Bajaj CT100, which made a comeback to the market this year. For bikes up to 160cc, there was even more intense competition with the Pulsar AS150 and Avenger Street 150 from Bajaj, Hero Extreme Sports, the Suzuki Gixxer SF and Honda's Unicorn 160. The scooters are certainly getting stronger and more resurgent every year. This year it was Hero's new Maestro Edge and Duet, a couple of the Vespas and Yamaha's Fasino that were in the fray. And not surprisingly, soon enough everyone wanted a piece of the bigger horsepower beasts that were oh so inviting. And what's more, we had a new brand debuting at the awards for the first time, Italy's Benelli.
So I've just got off the Benelli TNT 899 and I have to tell you that it's quite a surprising bike. I didn't expect it to be this much fun. Firstly, when you start it up, to be quite honest, it sounds like somebody's gargling a mouthful of ball bearings. It's really noisy. But once you get it going, the engine note becomes much more pleasing. It's much more shrill. It's a quick bike. It handles really well. And I was quite surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I didn't think I'd like it this much.
Just finished riding the 821 Monster on the Buddh circuit, and it's really a nice bike to ride and easy to ride, and the V twin engine has a lot of power and torque throughout the rev range, and it's really nice. I really enjoyed the ride, so it's a nice bike.
The Suzuki GSX S1000 is just such a sweetly engineered product. When you get onto a bike like this, you get to see just where the motorcycle industry has reached. Now, it's not just about the fact that it's got a huge, massive engine and it's very powerful. It's just how beautifully that power is delivered to you while you're riding. That just makes the experience wonderful. I also love the riding stance on this bike, and I have to say that I've had a lot of fun with it today.
Everyday practical machine that you can drive to work, unlike the bigger, heavier kind of off-road bikes that you have. And at the price point about 7 lakhs ex-showroom, I think the Ducati Scrambler really works for me, and it's one of the bikes that is one of the hot contenders for 2015.
Time for a break on our Jury Meet special, but things stay fast and furious on the other side. It's time once again for the country's top auto quiz, the Mahindra AQ 2016. And you can win some AQ goodies too. Just answer this question. Who designed the first BMW Z8? Tweet your answer to Siddharth at Sid Patankar using #WalkYourTalk. Welcome back to the Jury Meet special for NDTV's annual Car and Bike Awards. We're at the Buddh International Circuit and the jury is going at it. Testing the nearly 40 two-wheelers that were vying for top honours across 10 categories. Let's take you through the nominees now for the Motorcycle of the Year up to 250cc and then the 500cc class. The Bajaj Pulsar RS 200 got a lot of attention. But in the higher displacement class, things got a bit tight as the very impressive Mahindra Mojo had to fend off that exciting Benelli TNT 300 and the very capable Yamaha R3.
Yamaha has always had a sweet spot in the light middleweight class, going all the way back to the RD 350. This bike reminds one so much of that legacy. It's a very appropriately sized bike, neither too big nor too small, very suited to India, extremely tractable. It is able to get up to fairly high speeds because it's a high revving 12,000 RPM redline. But at the same time, it's also extremely tractable, as most Yamahas are. So as a result, it's an extremely sensible combination. It can go fast when you want to. It can be a docile bike in the city when you want to. And all of the controls, the brakes, the clutch, the gear shifts all work so smoothly. So overall, it's another very credible product from Yamaha in their very long line and lineage of light middleweight bikes.
After spending the whole day on the track and really challenging all the two-wheelers across all classes, the jurors moved to the deliberations and voting to decide which of them will win. As always, the process is monitored and tabulated by our knowledge partner Ernst & Young. And now, before we find out the results, time to put the jury on the spot.
Essentially motorcycles that are 300cc plus.
I think far better quality of switchgear, fit and fitments.
The trend towards adventure motorcycles.
A lot of big bikes coming back to the market.
Well, it has to be the R3.
TNT 300.
I think it's the Hero scooters.
The Benelli TNT 300.
I must say it's got to be the YZF R3.
I think it's the in between the street bikes.
Cruisers for India.
I'd say street bikes work the best in this country.
I think cruisers.
Sports bikes for sure.
I think naked bikes work best in India because they have the sportiness, but they have the lower costs and the lower repairability costs. I think we're going to see a lot of very interesting activity in the 150 to 200cc class amongst the Indian bikes.
The next Activa?
The Bajaj CS 400.
The BMW 300cc bike.
I think the Royal Enfield Himalayan.
So now, the votes are sealed and you can find out all about all the winners by tuning into the telecast of the NDTV Car and Bike Awards 2016 on January 15th at these times on NDTV Prime or 16th at these times on NDTV 24/7.
Mercedes-Benz presents The Great Overland Adventure every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. on NDTV Prime.